Hi, we are going to see the apparatus and the chemicals for this experiment, and this experiment is going to be done from May-June 2024. Question number 1, paper 3-1, practical paper 3-1. The first thing I'm going to show you the apparatus. This is a measuring cylinder, 50 centimeter cube measuring cylinder. And then we have another measuring cylinder here, which is 25 centimeter cube. We have volumetric flask, and we have already prepared a solution here of H₂SO₄, 2 molar. And then we have another volumetric flask, which contain another 2 molar of NaOH, sodium hydroxide. So I have put some of the sodium hydroxide here, and then I have another setup, which is the stand and the thermometer, the clamp to hold the thermometer, and then I have polystyrene cup, and then I have a beaker to support it according to the instruction of the paper, and then I have a funnel. I'm going to transfer the acid, and then we will measure the temperature of the acid, the initial temperature before the reaction starts, and then we will add the sodium hydroxide. So the reaction will start, and then they react. As the reaction proceeds, there will be a change in temperature. So we are going to use the thermometer to measure the change in temperature. So let's start. So according to the paper question, the first thing is reaction of sodium hydroxide with sulfuric acid, each 2 mol per decimeter cube. So according to the question paper again, Fa1, which is sodium hydroxide, here 2 molar, and sulfuric acid 2 molar, Fa2. So this is our apparatus setup. So we have already prepared the setup. The beaker is the beaker and the polystyrene cup, 250 centimeter cube beaker and the polystyrene cup inside it. And then I'm going to measure 30 centimeter cube of Fa1, which is sodium hydroxide. So I'm going to measure 30 centimeter cube of NaOH. So exactly 30 centimeter. This measuring cylinder is already washed and cleaned and rinsed. So I'm going to directly measure 30 centimeter cube. Be sure that the meniscus is exactly on 30 centimeter cube. Yes, it is 30 centimeter cube. I'm going to transfer inside here. I will use the funnel. Then the next thing is I'm going to measure the temperature for this one. Make sure that the thermometer doesn't touch the polystyrene cup. So I'm going to read the temperature here, which is 23. There will be an error, so we will see that later on. So the temperature Ti, initial temperature of F1, which is sodium hydroxide. So it is 23. Okay. And then the next, it says we will measure 20 centimeter cube using 25 centimeter cube of measuring cylinder. We will measure 20 centimeter cube of H₂SO₄. So we already recorded the temperature. I'm going to remove this. Okay. So I'm going to measure 20 centimeter cube of sulfuric acid, H₂SO. Yes, it is exactly 20 centimeter cube. I'm going to use the other funnel to transfer the sulfuric acid now. 20 centimeter cube, and immediately I will put the thermometer inside to check for the temperature change. Meanwhile, I will swirl the chemicals so that they react together. This is the reaction between base and an acid. It forms a salt and water. It's a neutralization reaction. So basically, we are doing a neutralization reaction. Temperature is increasing. It's about 40 degrees Celsius. We will measure the maximum temperature. Is 41. So we will stop at a constant temperature before falling. Still 41. It is dropping now. From 41, is dropping. So the maximum temperature will be 41 because it's dropping now. So T final of the solution is 41 degrees Celsius, and that was the initial was 23 degrees Celsius. Okay, so this is the temperature. T initial of F1 was 23 degrees Celsius. T final is 41 degrees Celsius. Now we can calculate the change in the temperature by subtracting. So delta T would be T final minus T initial, which is 41 minus 23, that gives 18 degrees Celsius. 18 degrees Celsius. So we are going to move to the other part of the question, which is C. B is calculation. We will see it in another video. And now we are going to see the C part of the question, which says reaction of sodium hydrogen carbonate with sulfuric acid. So I have sodium hydrogen carbonate in this crucible, and it's lit, and this is called sample FA3. We are going to measure it, and we are going to react it with again the same sulfuric acid, which was 2 molar in part A. Now the first thing I'm going to measure 20 centimeter cube. Okay, I already have done the setup here. So I have a beaker, I have the polystyrene cup, and the thermometer. So we will use 25 centimeter cube measuring cylinder to transfer 25 centimeter cube of Fa2, okay, into the cup, the polystyrene cup. Then we will, the thermometer is already there, so I'm going to add 25 centimeter cube. Okay, this is more than 25. I'm going to reduce the volume little amount. Yes, it is 25 centimeter cube exactly. So I'm going to transfer it to the polystyrene cup and then record the temperature. Record the temperature. Okay. So the temperature is 24 degrees Celsius. 24 degrees Celsius. So this would be T temperature of Fa2. Temperature of Fa2 is 24.0 degrees Celsius. Okay, so this is the temperature. So I'm going to move to the next point of the method, the procedure as it appears in the paper. So then we will weigh the container of Fa3 and record the mass. So this is the container of Fa3. I'm going to measure it here. Okay, the mass of container, which is Fa3, as you can see here, it's 49.9. 49.9. Okay, so I'm going to record the container and the Fa3 together. That give 49.9 gram. Okay, then the next, it says add a small quantities at a time, okay, from our container to the cup, and then the reaction will take place between the Fa3 and the sulfuric acid. Okay, so I'm going to add some, okay, and record the temperature later, the maximum temperature. I will add this. There is a reaction taking place. A small amount each time. Again, I'm adding another amount. So the temperature has fallen from 24 to now it is 13, 12. So it is around 12. So around 12. So this indicates that the reaction is endothermic because the temperature has fallen. Okay. So I'm going to record the final temperature as 12. Now it starts increasing, so I'm going to record as 12. So the temperature of maximum, okay, which is, or minimum, because this has reduced, it is 12.0 degrees Celsius. Okay, change in temperature would be change. So the temperature of Fa2 was 24 degrees Celsius, 24.0 degrees Celsius. The minimum temperature after adding the Fa3 sample to Fa2 and then they react, the temperature was 12.0 degrees Celsius. Now I'm going to find the change in temperature, which is 24.0 minus 12.0, that gives 12 degrees Celsius. The temperature is 12.0 degree Celsius. This is our record. Now I'm going to measure the mass again, the mass of the crucible with some residue, because after I add my sample, there will be some of the sample might be left on the wall of the container. So I have to measure the crucible without the sample, which is 43.3, as you can see. Now I have to record that the mass of container and residue is 43.3 gram. Now I have to find the mass, the exact mass that I have already added by subtracting the mass with the sample, the mass of container with the sample minus the mass of the container with the residue. It will be 49.9 minus 43.3. This would give 6.6 gram. 6.6 gram. Okay, so the mass is 6.6 gram. Okay, so this is our data result from the two experiments, from this part C experiment and the other one. So I will see you in the next video where we can show the calculation part of this experiment and also how to draw the table for both data, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.